Today we are discussing an alternative way to applying your Seint. If you watch social media and Seint videos, this is the way that you will see most people apply it. It's just not the way that I typically apply it. My theory is there's no right or wrong way to apply Seint if you're getting the results that you want. So the way that I'm about to show you, I feel is probably the fastest way to apply Seint. But if you're a person who needs a lot of coverage, I don't think it's the most ideal application for coverage needs, if that makes sense. The way that I've shown you in the past, I have a little bit more of a traditional makeup application technique that I do, but that is just because I think the method that I typically do allows for the most longevity and coverage. However, I have done the method that I am going to show you today, and it has worked fine for me. I'm just a perfectionist maybe. So I'm going to dive in here and show you this alternative way to applying your Seint.
All right, so we will start with our contour, and I'm just gonna press into that and then rub my fingers together to kind of warm it up so it'll slide a little easier on the face. We're gonna do right here under our cheekbones, and I go from the top of the ear probably to about the outside of the eye, just for reference. We're going to do the forehead. If you have a larger forehead, you can apply more. If you have a very short forehead, then you don't have to apply any in that area. Down the nose and along the jawline. I feel like contouring the jaw is where you really see the most impact of contouring. It is just my favorite part. Now we're gonna add some bronzer, and we're gonna place this more on the inside of the face and out here above the cheekbones, but keeping it more to the outside of the face. Bronzer is something that you apply to your liking. Some people like to be very, very bronzed, so you could add more, and some people really just wanna keep it subtle, and that's fine too. It is however you like it to be. Now we're gonna apply some of our main shade. So this is basically like your foundation shade, and we're just applying this kind of in the areas that we have no other makeup at this point. This is how you are able to keep your makeup in one layer, and then you can avoid layer over layer causing any more cakiness. This is our brightener, and I like to do this right in here, kind of under the bags of my eyes, and then a little bit on the outside here to give it some lift. And there we go. That's kind of like the way we start with our basic face with this method. And soon we will be grabbing our blush. I honestly can't even remember what shade I was using. But we're gonna, oh, it's Tropicana. And I'm gonna tap that along the cheekbone as well, kind of in front of and then mixed in with that bronzer. And you'll see when we blend it out, it'll just be a gorgeous flush, and I love it so much. And here we go. So we've got all of our lines and our dots, and now it's time to blend. So we're using the blush and bronzer brush, but we're going to use the shorter end, and because this is a more dense side, so it allows just for some seamless blending. I always start with my contour, and I always make sure I'm working it up against that cheekbone. And I start with my contour and my bronzer first because they are my darkest shades. So I like to blend them out first and then go right into my main shade and then my blush. You do not have to like wash your brush. You can just keep going with the same brush and using all these colors at the same time. It will not like mess up your makeup. That is one of the beautiful things, one of the many beautiful things about using cream makeup. So I just added a little bit more foundation right in there. And we're gonna just keep tapping and pressing. Now I'm working with my main shade and kind of starting to blend that out as well. And tap and press and push. That's all you got to do, just buffing it into the skin. And look how that is coming together. This method is truly just insanely fast, and once you kind of master it, you just won't believe how fast you can do your entire face. It is an awesome, awesome method, and I'm not really sure why I don't do this more often, but I don't. I think maybe I'm going to start, honestly. This video has inspired me as well. And then just pressing all those shades in, and I will also press in the contour on the nose. One thing you just want to make sure that you do is get that jawline contour blended in just lightly. You don't want to blend it completely off altogether, because then what is the point? But just make sure you don't forget. Sometimes it's easy to forget. I forgot to put brightener down the middle of my nose earlier when I was applying brightener, so that's what's happening now. And then I kind of just tap to blend in my nose contour. And look at that, you guys. It has all come together. I know when you see the stripes and the dots and all those things and all the colors on the face, I'm sure it looks terrifying to you. But you have to trust the process with cream makeup. It is just honestly so seamless and so easy.
Okay, so here's my finished product. Like I said, if you are getting the results that you like and that make you happy, then there is no right or wrong way to do it. I do believe this way is faster. So if you can get the amount of coverage and you're getting the longevity you want from using this method, then by all means, that is exactly what you should do. Thanks, guys.